talking to us, Peter and Ellen. How long have you lived at Highland Green?
Over 10 years now.
Yeah, it was
among
10
the
years.
pioneers, as they say.
10 years in August.
So you moved here from Yarmouth, Maine, right up the
Right,
road.
right.
What do you like about being here?
For me, I really like being able to walk the dog with lights. That's huge. I like the community. We were gone for a while to see grandkids and coming back and seeing all the people that are, you socialize with regularly.
Mm-hmm.
But we also it was great for us because we worked for the past 10 years.
Yeah, I think that was a big plus while we were working. We just retired, was the fact that I worked in Portland, which is about half an hour away. Ellen worked in Augusta, which was about half an hour in that direction. And we had our daughter and son-in-law and grandkids lived in Auburn, and again, about half an hour. So it's just centrally located. I think the other piece of it is Yarmouth was a nice, cute little community, but you had to drive to get to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas here, even though you're in this kind of nice, really is nice community, you go out the end of the road and you can access stuff in Topsom at the mall, and Best Buy, and Target, and shops, and nice restaurants in Brunswick. You're up the coast to Bath and Camden in no time at all. So it's just a great location for that.
And definitely one of the big ones is Bowdoin College. I mean, I know a lot of people like that. I grew up where my parents did do a lot with senior college, would take courses. My father got a PhD at age 65, so it's natural for us to want to take courses at Bowdoin now, retired, or even the Mid-Coast Senior College. Intellectually, it's a great community.
Yeah, I think that, the community part too, being in Yarmouth, we had moved to Maine about 18 years ago, so we really didn't know a lot of people, and let's say from work and such. So by moving here, the sense of we're going to have neighbors, everybody was going to be new, coming from different parts of the country for the most part, was a real plus.
So I understand you both just recently retired. Can you tell us a little bit about what you just did?
I just retired in end of September, so less than 2 months ago. I was the webmaster and web coordinator and anything else they wanted me to do at Maine State Library.
So you could zip right up the road to Augusta to get to work, and Peter, you went in the other direction,
Yeah,
straight down to Portland.
Down to Portland, although I was on the road a lot. Actually, the reason we moved here 18 years ago, I was running a HMO for Blue Cross in Rochester, New York, and came across this opportunity. It was a good chance to move. We both wanted to be in New England. I actually have family in New Hampshire that live there now. So we moved up here. I was the executive director of what they call a physician hospital organization. I did that for 18 years.
And one thing that's important, a lot of people don't think about, I actually work from home 2 days a week, and the access to the internet is critical, and it's great. I've had no trouble with getting online by uploading web pages. You need a fast upload, and Highland Green had the cables come in, and it's been great. We're also in a place where if there are issues with power, whatever, comes right back up. I have never, the whole 10 years, really been down more than just an hour or two. And that's important. We live close enough to the center of town.
Where did you grow up, Ellen?
I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, and my father was a teacher, and I was there for years and then graduated from school in Athens, Greece, because he became the principal of the American School in Athens, Greece, my senior year. I was not happy, but it was a good experience. But I'm still connected to the people that I went to school with for high school, so that's nice. And then I went University of Rochester and stayed there for the next 30 years till we moved here.
And where did you grow up, Peter?
I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, but a lot of connection to this part of the country. I spent all my summers in New Hampshire, about 10 years, at a camp over in Wolfboro. I went to Middlebury College in Vermont, and I've always enjoyed being in New England. Got my master's at Cornell University, so very much a New England Northeast orientation.
How did you two meet?
On a chairlift at a ski area. And I was a widow. My husband had died at 43. And you have to hold up a ski pole to say single. It was only a double chair, which they got rid of. They eventually had triple, but it was a double. And I was in the single line. This guy got on who had a beard. So I, of course, thought he was ancient and that he was a lot older.
The hair was a little white also at that time. This is not a new event.
So we talked, enjoyed it, and I said goodbye because I was skiing with my daughters. And then I got down the bottom and we ended up riding up again and started talking.
So what do you folks do for fun and in your spare time?
Well, now that we have more spare time, we got to work on that. But since we've lived here, well, even before we moved to Maine and such, we scuba dive. We usually get in a trip or two each year.
We've done that for 20 years, and we did our 500th dive last Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving Day.
Yep, and we've dived in. We don't dive in Maine. A little too dark, a little too cold.
Yeah, too
but
cold.
we've dived in the Caribbean, the Central Pacific Islands, Australia, the Maldives Islands. A lot of
Fiji,
beautiful
yeah, a lot of
places, interesting
Micronesia.
places. I'm sort of a World War II buff, and we actually had a chance to dive Truk Lagoon, which is the site of a huge raid on Japanese ships that were there, and dove on the wrecks. So a lot of fun doing that.
So
And
you've been,
I was going to say, around here we like to, obviously walk our golden retriever. We do a lot of walking, hiking, biking. We love going to Acadia National Park because you can bike with no cars on the carriage trails. To me, that's to die for. I swim, or I used to swim. When I'm going to go back to it because now I'll have time.
Growing up, I did a lot of
Exercise.
hiking in the White Mountains, New Hampshire. So a friend of mine and I always get at least one good trip in the White Mountains, so we enjoy the easy access. I think one of the things we like too is just doing day trips. Years ago, Ellen was working on a website for the library and wanted to get pictures of the libraries. So we took one Saturday, 4 different trips, one Western Maine, Northern Maine, coastal, and down east, and took pictures of the libraries.
So we both
Great time.
like photography, and we do that. I like going to book club here. It's great. You can either go or not go, choose to read the book or not read the book. So there are a lot of activities here at Highland Green that we really getting involved
Yeah, we're going to
in
get
now.
more involved in now. But I think one of the things that we found, to Ellen's point, is I met with a guy, one of the friends I have here in the Phase 1, and we both enjoy single malt whiskey from Scotland. And so we're actually putting together a single malt whiskey tasting at the pub some night this winter. Working with the staff down there to do that, and then the word gets around. All of a sudden, someone will come up to me and say, "I understand you like single malts," and so you begin to just connect on things around here. So I think that's one of the big reasons we moved in was the community, and again now with more time and activities during the day, there's a group of the men get together for lunch once a month with the Romeos, retired old men eating out. So they get together at local restaurants, and there's a women's group as well. So it's just there's an opportunity, and then you meet other people. So I think that's one of the things we're looking forward to. And I think other than that, those activities, we both enjoy reading, and as Ellen said, it's a book club, opportunity to find people with similar interests in reading.
and you moved to Highland Green 10 years before you retired. Why was that important to you?
I think in terms of specifics, being new in Yarmouth, we only lived in Yarmouth about 8 years because we moved here. So we didn't have a lot of contacts with the people there, other than work contacts and neighbors. So we knew that having a sense of community was going to be important as we got older. In fact, I went to a presentation by an individual who has retirement communities and over 55 communities like Highland Green throughout the country. And when I told him that we had moved here, even well before our retirement plans, he said, "Good move, way to go." So there was that wanting to have a sense of community. And the other thing was, we knew as we got older, we weren't going to be wanting to climb stairs to a second floor bedroom. And the ability to build a house the way we wanted to, with a lot of help and some basic plans, not sort of where do we start, was a big plus to us. So we've taken that off the list. We haven't suddenly at age whatever say, "Oh, we just can't do stairs anymore. We got to find a one-story house where the bedrooms on the first floor." It's done.
And you mentioned when you met that you had 2 golden retrievers. I understand you still have a...
We still got a Josh.
golden.
Josh, hey!
No, look that way. Yeah, Josh, we moved in. When we moved in here, we had a couple golden retrievers, and they passed away. And we got Josh, and the day we picked him up, we got him over in New Hampshire, and everybody knew we were bringing Josh home. So it was a Friday. We stopped by the community center just to say hello to a few people. When we came up here, there were at least half the street was waiting for us, the residents waiting for us to meet Josh. as a 8-week-old puppy, and he's sort of become the mascot for the community. Everybody knows Josh. They don't know who we are, but they know Josh. And as I said earlier, his official AKC name is Granite Gold Highland Spirit.
Oh, there you go.
Very appropriate.
There goes
Although
drop
not
down, that's
necessarily
enough.
always spirited at the moment. It's nap time.